my name is Vivian Wood. I'll be demonstrating bandaging. I will be demonstrating polo wrap, hoof wrap, standing wrap, stack wrap, and a wound wrap. The horse I'll be demonstrating is Jane. The first bandage I'll be demonstrating is a standing wrap. You'll need a quilt and a track wrap.
I'm taking my quilt and placing it below her knee. I'm going from outside to inside. And I'm applying even amount of tension, not too tight, not too loose. Next, I'm going to take my track wrap and placing under the last wrap of quilt I just did, just to help support the track wrap a little bit better. Next, I'm going from outside to inside. And I'm making sure there are no wrinkles in my track wrap while I'm working my way down. And I'm applying an even amount of tension to it, making sure it's not too tight, not too loose. If it's too tight, it could cause bone tendon. If it's too loose, it could fall off of her leg. And I'm going to make my way back up. And I'm going to do the same thing, make sure there are no wrinkles. And applying an even amount of tension, not too tight, not too loose. And for the quilt mount, I want to make sure I have about 1 to 2 inches of quilt showing from the bottom and the top. And you want to make sure the Velcro is in the front, so if she rubs her legs or anything against each other, it won't come undone. I also wiggled my fingers in the back just to make sure that the standing wrap isn't too tight or too loose. Next, I'm going to take the masking tape and I'll place it on the Velcro just to help keep it secured. And I'm going from outside to inside. And I'm going to make 3 little spirals around the wrap. Again, this helps secure the wrap from not falling off and keeps debris out of the wrap.
I'll be demonstrating is a wound wrap. You need a quilt, a track wrap, elasticon, telephone pad, and a brown roll gauze.
Jane doesn't have a wound, but for the purpose of the video, I'm going to pretend that she has a wound. I just took my tofu pad and I dipped it in chlorhexidine. And now I'm going to place it on her cannon bone. And next, I'm going to take my brown roll gauze. And I'm going from outside to inside. And I'm just going to rest it on her. You don't have to apply any attention or anything like that. Just to rest it on her. And then the brown roll gauze will stick to itself. Next, I'm going to take my quilt, and I'm going to place it right below her knee, and I'm going to go from outside to inside, and I make sure there's no wrinkles, and I'm applying even amount of tension. Next, I'm going to take my track wrap, and I'm going to place it underneath the last wrap of my quilt just to help stabilize the track wrap while I'm working my way down, and I'm making sure there are no wrinkles on my track wrap, and I'm applying even amount of tension. And I'm going to do the same thing going back up, and making sure I'm applying even amount of tension, because if it's too loose, it will fall, and if it was too tight, it will cause a bone tendon. And again, making sure no wrinkles. And for the quilt, I'm making sure I have at least 1 to 2 inches of the quilt showing from the bottom and the top. And you see my fingers wiggling around. I'm just making sure that the wound wrap is not too tight on her or too loose. Next, I'm going to apply my elasticon on her. I'm going to have half of it on and half of it on the wrap and half of it on her. And I'm not going to apply any tension on the elasticon. I'm just making it just lay against her, and this helps stabilize the wound wrap from coming off or helps keep the debris out of the wound wrap.
Bandaging I will be demonstrating is a pull-up wrap. All you need is a pull-up wrap.
I'm going to be placing the polo wrap right below her knee, and I'm going from outside to inside. And since she has smaller cannon bones, I'm going to make my each lap around a little bit smaller just to make sure the polo wrap fits her a little bit better. I just cuffed her fetlock, and I'm making a little V right in front of her leg, and I'll make my way back up her leg. And each time going up and down, I am making sure there are no wrinkles, and I'm applying an even tension. I'm not making it too tight, and I'm not making it too loose where it will come off. Or if it was too tight, cause damage to the horse's leg.
Next bandaging I would demonstrate is a stack wrap. You'll need 2 quilts, 2 track wrap, and elasticon. Okay.
I'm going to be taking my quilt, and I'm going to place it right below her knee, and I'm going from outside to inside, and I'm making sure there are no wrinkles in my quilt. Oh, and I'm also applying an even amount of tension to the quilt. Next, I'm going to take my track wrap, and I'm going to place it, a little bit of it underneath the last wrap of my quilt. This just helps stabilize the track wrap. I am going to go from outside to inside with my track wrap. And with my track wrap, I'm making sure there are no wrinkles, and I'm making sure I'm applying enough tension to it. Just because if it was too tight, it could cause a bone tendon, and if it was too loose, it could make the wrap fall off. On the bottom, I'm going to leave about 1 to 2 inches of the cotton quilt. Next, I'm going to work my way back up, and again, apply amount of tension to the track wrap, and not making sure there are no wrinkles in the track wrap. Also, I'm not going to have really any quilts showing on the top upper half, just because it helps stabilize the upper half of the stack wrap. And I'm going to be covering up the bottom half of my stack wrap. Now I'm going to place my quilt above the lower half of my stack wrap. And I'm going from outside to inside, making sure there are no wrinkles in my quilt. Next, I'm going to take my track wrap and place it underneath the last wrap of my quilt I just did to help stabilize my track wrap. And again, I'm going from outside to inside. And for the track wrap, I'm making sure I have no wrinkles in my track wrap. And making sure I'm applying amount of tension to my track wrap, not too tight or too loose. And for the track wrap, I'm not going to go all the way down, just halfway down her cannon bone, and I'm going to work my way back up. Again, making sure applying enough tension and making sure it's not too tight or too loose. Too tight could cause more damage. Too loose, the wrap will come off. And for the upper half of the stack wrap, I do want the quilt showing about 1 to 2 inches. Next, I'm going to take my elasticon again, and again I am just going to place it half on and half off. half on the stack wrap and half onto her leg. And again, I'm just going to rest it on her in the wrap, not apply any attention to the elasticon. And for the elasticon, I'm going from outside to inside. And I'm also going to be placing the elasticon on the bottom half of the stack wrap. This having the elasticon on the upper half and the bottom half of the stack wrap helps support the stack wrap from falling or anything, and it helps keep any debris out of the stack wrap also. And again, elasticon for the bottom half, I'm going to place it half on the wrap and half on her leg, bottom portion of her leg. And again, I'm not paying any attention. I'm just going to rest it on her, the wrap in her leg.
Wrap I will demonstrate is a hoof wrap. You'll need a hoof pick to clean out the hoofs. You need a telephone pad, a diaper, a vet wrap, and duct tape.
I'm going to start off doing my duct tape first. Each piece of duct tape, I'm making sure it's about the length of my forearm, and I'm going to start first with vertical up and down, and I'm going to do about 4 to 5 pieces. And for the duct tape, I'm going to overlap each one. Next, I'm going to start going horizontally with the duct tape, and again, I'm making each pieces of duct tape about the length of my forearm, and I'm going to overlap each one. I'm going to try my best to make sure they're both all even. If they're not, it's okay. And I'm also going to do about 4 to 5 pieces horizontally too. First, for the hoof wound, I'm going to clean the hoof out just to make sure there's no rocks or debris or anything in it. I'm going to put a towel pad. I'm pretending that the horse has an abscess, and I'm using Ithomol. I am going to place a diaper over the hoof. And you can also use a hoof bandage if a horse threw its shoe and you just need it to be protected so the hoof doesn't get sore or ouchy for the horse. Next, I am going to take my vet wrap. I'm going to place it over the diaper. Be wrapping the diaper with the vet wrap. I'm going to be wrapping the whole diaper. I'm making sure none of the diaper is showing. I'm also making sure I don't get the horse's coronary band. And you don't have to use the whole vet wrap. I did just because I was almost done with it. And also for the vet wrap, I'm not applying any attention or anything just because vet wrap is stretchy. I'm just laying against the diaper. Next, I'm taking my duct tape that I made earlier, placing it on the hoof, and I'm just going to place it around. there are some parts of the vet wrap that are showing, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the duct tape. I'm just going to place it around, and I'm making sure I don't get the coronary band. I'm just adding a little bit more just to help support the hoof wrap a little bit better. I'm also going to take my pair of scissors, and I'm just going to cut off the extra pieces that I have that are hanging off of the foot wrap, just